Okay, so the opposite, not the opposite, the thing that goes with the exponents, which is the little number, means using radicals. So this will make sense. Let me walk through it real quick. If 4 to the second power, or 4 squared, it's the same thing, just means 4 times 4, which is going to be 16. Then 4 to the second power equals 16. And the visual for that is we just want to imagine a number 4 is sitting there, and an exact same number 4 is sitting on top of it. This lets us know how many number 4s there are because we got to multiply them, because everything that touches multiplies in algebra. So that is one direction. So I'm going to make a pen or an arrow go that way. Well, there's a way to go backwards. And the way to go backwards, if we wanted to know what number times itself gives you 16. So if we started with the answer and they said, well, do it backwards now. What are the parts? What is the thing that gets, multiplied by itself that makes you 16? That would be this symbol. And this symbol looks so fancy secret math. It looks like a division symbol, but it's got this little double tail on it. Looks kind of evil, whatever. All that asks is what number times itself gives you 16. So the beauty of that is 4. So this is called the square root. This is the square, 4 squared, and this thing is called a radical, that broken bench looking thing. But the wording of it is the square root. So the square root of 16 is 4 times 4. The square root is 4. Here's the best part about this. We never, ever have to do this math in our head on the GED test, because on the calculator, there is a button that we can press and make this little house, make this funky little house, and then we type the number in there, we hit enter, and it'll tell you the answer. So the reason to introduce this and to feel good about it is some fancy thing like this, where they just say, solve. And man, it's like, I don't even know what this is. It's like a kite. I don't know. It's a snake. All that's saying is what number times itself gives you 100. 10 times 10 gives us 100. So the answer to that would be 10. That mystery number multiplied against itself gives us 100. So this is one more thing that we can feel conquered, that we own this thing. So I'm going to clear all this junk off, and we're going to scroll over here to this question. I don't know what this question says. Oh, you jerks. What is the square root of 49 multiplied by the square root of 144? So they jumped a little bit further down the road than I was hoping to do. But anyway, square root means this thing. And we put this in the house. We put 49 in the house. Then they said multiplied. Same thing, square root. So we build that little house, 144. And again, if we had that little calculator in front of us, we'd have to hit the second button and then the X2 button, and we'd build that little house. And that's for another day, how to be an expert in that calculator. But type in this stuff into a calculator. What number times itself gives you 49 is 7. So the little hidden step in there, 7 times 7 makes 49. And that thunder was real. That's country thunder right there. Then we got the times. What number times itself gives us 144? The calculator can tell us that. It'd be 12, the hidden little step in here as well. 12 times 12 gives us 144. But we don't have to know that. We don't have to do that. All we do now is type in 7 times 12. Probably wouldn't have a question like this so straightforward or so complicated on the test, but they might. 84. That's our answer. But I want to rewind this take what is actually a pretty complicated question. What is the square root of 49? That's how that looks. Multiplied by the square root of 144. All we have to know is, what does this thing mean? What does that thing mean? It means what number times itself gives you 49. And we can even use our calculator. Find out it's 7, because the step is 7 times 7 makes 49. We bring down the multiply. Well, that dot got bigger. 144 is 12, because 12 times 12 gives us 144. Calculator is going to tell us that. We multiply those two numbers together, and we got this. Is it a headache? Of course it is. It's math. It sucks. But it's doable. Click on that. I'm going to clear all my stuff off, and we can look. The square root of 49 is 7. Man, they did a real lame way of showing this. But square root of 49 is 7. Square root of 44 is 12. 7 times 12 is 44. More than likely, it would be something like this. There we go. Here's GED right now. They would say this. And then, if you're ever stuck, like what number multiplied by itself gives you 225? I don't know. I haven't memorized that stuff. I don't know. At the very least, they give you 4 choices. So let's say they gave us 5 and 15 and 25 and 35. And that's A, B, C, and D, if they gave us that. So I'm even going to write my A and my B and my C and my D. If we know what this thing means, what number multiplied by itself gives you 225, here's a powerful feeling to have in the middle of the test. Put the answers on trial. Pretend that you're the teacher and student A said 5, raised their hand, said 5. Well, let's see, 5 times 5, that's 25. I am sorry, but you are incorrect. That is not big enough. Next kid raised his hand, says 15. All right, 15 times 15. Type that into your calculator, 225. Kiddo, you are right. I think you guessed, but you're right. And you throw that kid his apple back at him, whatever they do, I don't know. These are way too big. So I don't know what that is, but it isn't 225. So that feeling of putting the answer on trial, the only thing we have to know is, what does this stupid little symbol mean? So here's my last one. What number times itself gives us 36? We could type this into our calculator, 6 times 6. So the answer is 6. Own this thing now. Own it. There's only one other thing they can do to that little symbol, which is to complicate it. If we own that now, the next symbol, the thing they would do, this is the only difference, would be, this would be 8, right? Because 8 times 8 is 64. The only thing they will ever show differently on the test is if they put a little 3 there. Then they're saying, what number times itself, times itself, times itself? And the calculator has a button for that. So I don't want us to look at that and get scared or worried or anything like that. The calculator has a button for that. And this stuff we can own. And I believe this would be 4. 4 times 4 times 4 would give us, 4 times 4 is 16. And 16 times 4 would give us 64. But we don't even have to know that. Remember, because the calculator is awesome. And that mystery is solved. So all we're going to do now is jump to the next question, if it's any good. What is the square root of 169? They could have written it this way. Either way, we could type this into our calculator. They took away the symbol, so they took away that hint because that visually is near one of the buttons. But if we did 11 times 11, that's 121, not good enough. We could try a bunch of these. I believe it's 13. You know, I'm just going to click on it. I think it's 13. I've been wrong many times. There we go. 13 times 13. We're going to click on one more question and just look at the question. Oh, we just did that. Square root of 225 is 15. So same question. Boom, boom, boom. See, there's no math here. It's just what does that term mean? What number times itself gives you that number?
Wait, go back.
Okay. There we go.